In this video, I'm going to talk about mulching. If you're an avid gardener, you're probably not going to get a ton out of this. If you're new to gardening and to permaculture though, this is a great place to start. We're going to cover why mulch, what types of mulch to use, and when to apply it. I'm just sitting in my garden right now, and it's June here in Calgary, which means that we're past our wet season, and it's pretty much time to start putting mulch on the garden. If you look at this kale plant, a lot of this soil is exposed, and so what we want to do is build a bit of a nest around the actual kale plant, making sure that we don't get too close to the stem. Now all the soil around the kale plant is totally covered. The evaporation is going to go down, and that plant is going to get a lot happier. So we're going to get going and do the rest of the garden in that way. Mulch is super important. It preserves moisture in the soil, and most people think that that's where the benefits of mulch end. But by actually shading the top surface of the soil and keeping that moisture at the top level of the soil just a little bit higher, what it allows the microbes and the larger insects to do is actually come to the surface of the soil, and they can start nutrient cycling, which basically means that they're feeding your plants. In addition, in our climate, and a lot of climates in North America, especially continental climates where we're away from the Maritimes, it can get really dry in the summertime. So mulch can provide a really essential drought-proofing tool for your actual garden. Different types of mulches are actually going to encourage different types of microbes to grow in the soil. So when we're dealing with annual vegetable gardens, I like to use mulches that are actually going to encourage more of a microbial fungi mix. So a really good mulch to use is actually straw. Now, not all straw is actually created equal. Not only are there different species of straw, so straw is the leftover from barley or wheat. You can even have canola straw or flax straw. Different types of straw will actually decompose differently. In addition, a lot of those crops that I just mentioned are typically desiccated with Roundup or other equivalent types of herbicides. And so if you're using straw that has been desiccated, you're going to be putting that herbicide into your garden, which can be super detrimental to your soil. So you want to be cautious of where that straw is actually coming from. In food forests, I really like to use wood mulch. Wood mulch has got a lot more carbon in it than a straw will, and so it really encourages more fungal growth. And the reason I prefer wood mulch in a food forest is that trees actually prefer to grow in fungally dominant soil. Now, wood mulches, the kind of rule of thumb there is that you want to avoid mulches like cedar or tamarack, or if you're in the more tropical countries, gum or eucalyptus. Those mulches tend to decompose really slowly, and they tend to be less friendly towards beneficial fungi. I really like using wood mulch that's aged for a long period of time. So if you're on an acreage, call your local arborist and have them start stockpiling mulch on your property and let it sit for a couple of years. That mulch is only going to get better, and it's going to do wonders on your food forest. And as it decomposes, you can even start putting some of that into your vegetable garden as well. As far as when to apply mulch, we've certainly found that keeping the mulch off the garden in the early part of the year during the wet season is really important. If you've got mulch on the garden when it's raining, what we found is it tends to encourage a lot of slug production. So after we've kind of gone through that wet season, when evaporation is much higher than precipitation, so we're into the dry part of the summer, that's when we start to apply mulch vigorously. What you'll find when you start mulching is that your plant productivity is going to go up, the amount of water that you need is going to go down, and we've also found huge improvements to the quality of our soil when we started to add tons and tons of mulch to the soil. So I really encourage you guys to go and check it out. Try it out on your own garden, see what happens. Even try a portion of the garden with mulch and a portion without. and I think you'll be amazed at what you will notice. If you found this video interesting, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our website at vergepermaculture.ca, and leave comments and questions below, and I'll make sure that I answer them.
Mom, can you get some more mulch? Yeah. Yay!
There you go, bud. Make her see that cucumber that's right here. We gotta give him a little bit of room. Good job. Yeah, and see this one right here? See? Hello. You know what he needs? He needs a trellis. Should we give him a trellis, this guy? Or not? Maybe we leave him.